Welcome back to Campfire Conversations. Today's episode is going to be a little different and a little special because it's my birthday and we are going to reflect on officially stepping into my 30s and some of the life lessons that I've learned along the way and some of the challenges that I've come across and think that you might relate to. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to, make sure you stick around because I think this episode might be relatable to a lot more viewers than some of the others. We're going to jump into that, but before we do, I want to point out that I am drinking Jefferson's Reserve today, and we're going to start by pouring myself a drink. If you've been listening to the last couple episodes, you know that I've been doing a beer to sip on, and then a shot at the end. But today we're going to drink a little Jefferson's Reserve, very old Kentucky straight bourbon on a nice big ice cube, otherwise known as a rock. So, cheers to 30, and hopefully many more. That's pretty good stuff. So, to start this episode off, I want to give my previous self a little advice. If I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, this is what it would be. Everything happens for a reason. Now, I know that might sound cliche, and obviously it's not something that I made up. It's something that's been around for a very long time, and its origins, I don't even know, if we're being honest. But it was something that was said to me at a time when I was dealing with a love life situation. And the thought process was just, whatever is supposed to happen will happen. And I have lived my life based off of that motto for quite a while now. And it's helped me get through a lot of stuff. So I guess really what I'm saying is look for the purpose. Whatever is happening, the good and the bad, there's a reason for it. Once you find the reason, it makes sense. Sometimes you find it right away. Sometimes you don't see it for years and years. But sooner or later, everything will make sense. And every little decision you make will put you exactly where you want to be, or where you're supposed to be, rather. Now, I will say, this mindset comes with its own little set of dangers. And the biggest one is that I use this as an excuse to not do anything for quite a while. I didn't work as hard as I probably should have. I didn't work out as much as I probably should have. I didn't learn as much as I probably should have. But eventually I figured it out. And again, I think it puts me where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. I am now a little older and wiser. And looking back on everything that's happened to this point, I know there's a reason. I might not understand the reason for some of the things yet. Specifically things a little more recent, but I know and I believe with all my heart that I will one day, and it'll make sense. And I think just kind of having faith in that is something to take away. Hopefully that wasn't too cheesy, and hopefully you can relate to it. But I am curious, if you're listening or watching this wherever, what's something that you would tell a younger version of yourself? I feel like there could be a lot of good advice to be seen there. So I would really appreciate it if you drop in the comments, not to break up the super cheesy moment with the super cheesy plug there, but I think it could be something to learn. So drop that down below and let's move on. But I'm gonna take a little sip for that. The next thing I want to talk about is how, when things happen, your goals and aspirations can change quite a bit. I've had some different things in my life happen where one day I go to bed thinking this is the path that I'm supposed to be on. I'm going to do what I need to do to get on this, accomplish this, whatever it might be. And I wake up the next morning and something happens and that entire plan goes straight out the window. It could be something I've worked on for months or years or my whole life. And one day something clicks and it changes. For me, that was sports. Maybe something, probably something a lot of you can relate with. I knew at some point my athletic career would come to an end. But from a very young age, I always wanted to be a professional baseball player. My dad played on the Team USA Olympic team. My uncle played in the Dodgers organization. So I had a lot of big shoes to fill. And from a very young age, I intended on filling them. And I was on the path. I graduated high school, went to college, played baseball in college. Had a couple years where I didn't do too much. And then I had a couple years, or my final 2 years, I started to get into the swing of things. That was not meant to be a pun. But things changed. My junior year, we went to the College World Series. I was able to be a part of an amazing organization and make some amazing memories with some amazing talent. And after my college career, I had a choice. I could pursue potentially pro baseball, semi-pro baseball, and live the life that I thought I wanted for a long time. Now, I'm not saying I necessarily would have been picked up, but it's been a few years now, so for argument's sake, let's say I would have been picked up. But I had a choice. I could live in that world and try to put all my eggs in that basket, or I could move on. And it wasn't an easy decision, especially with the shoes I had to fill and the family legacy that was already established. But I decided to walk away from baseball and to pursue other things. My first pursuit was a career at Walmart. It was my first career job, or career-like job. I was an assistant manager coming out of college. I was making salary. I had more money than I knew what to do with. And I had, by most people's standards, made it. I had my own house, living in an area where I could do what I wanted. I could go out when I wanted. I could go vacation when I wanted. I could do a lot of things, and it gave me a lot of freedoms. But like other things do, that came to an end as well. And an opportunity came for more money. And I knew that if I took more money at that point in my life, with no responsibilities and no kids, there was no chance that I was leaving it. So I put all my eggs in a different basket and I started my own business. I left Walmart and started a photography business. Something I had been doing part-time at best prior to. And it started as, hey, I bought this camera, I'm gonna do some pictures. And I started posting some pictures, and those pictures got liked by some people. And those people said, hey, I really like those pictures. Will you do my senior pictures? And that turned into, hey, I really like those portrait pictures. Will you do my wedding photos? And that turned into, for the last few years, my main source of income has been wedding, photo, and video work. And it has taught me a lot of stuff. There's been lots of ups and downs. But it was a risk in myself. And that seems to be consistently for me, this isn't for everyone, but for me, that consistently seems to be where my path turns to. You're going to change what you think you should do, and everyone you ask is going to tell you what they think you should do. But I think deep down, at some point, you know why you're here, and you know the path you're supposed to be on. It's terrifying. It's going to be terrifying. But you have to go all in on yourself. Why spend money, time, effort, blood, sweat, tears? Why spend any of that on anyone other than yourself? Now, I know there are situations where you have responsibilities, you have things you have to take care of. But if you don't, why not? Why not put everything in on yourself? Take the course. Do the thing. Commit to whatever it is you think you need to commit to put your life in a place to be better. You might do it for 3 months. You might do it for 30 years. And one day wake up and decide, hey, this isn't the path I'm supposed to be on anymore. And that's okay. But what you're going to learn from that time spent is irreplaceable. Everything happens for a reason. That is your reason. Do it. Learn from it. Grow from it. There's nothing you can do in this entire world that you can't take away something positive from. So do it. The next thing I want to talk about is how to not let other people shape who you are. There's a lot of people in this world, and a lot of them are good, a lot of them are not. But there comes a time where you need to learn who you are and decide to stay that way or to choose to evolve. And I think growth is a consistent good thing. But for the purposes of what I'm about to say, it's not necessarily. And hopefully this will make sense when I come back to it. Example. In my time with Walmart, I made another friend who was also salaried. And long story short, the person ended up owing me a lot of money. Over $10,000. Which, for some of you listening, that might be a lot. For some of others of you listening, it might not be. For me at the time, that was a very good chunk of change. And I had essentially been lied to. And I was led to believe a lot of things by someone who I considered a real friend. And I was roommates with this person. I spent a lot of time at work and away from work with this person. And to have not seen so many obvious signs, I blame myself for a long time. But basically what had happened was this person who I trusted told me that they were in a situation where they needed help. To very quickly sum up the situation, they had told me that their identity was stolen and that they needed help with money. And again, I'm roommates with this person at this point. I know how much money they make, which was more than me at that point. And I didn't think anything of it. Yeah, man, that sucks. Here's a debit card. I gave them an extra one of my debit cards for a bank account that I had and said, hey, use it for whatever you need and pay me back whenever you can. Well, I'm sure like most of you are thinking, that wasn't a great idea. And as sure as shit was not. That account racked up quite a lot of money. Or lost quite a lot of money, I guess, would be the better way to put it. And to sum up what I'm getting at, I was out a lot of money from someone that I trusted very much. And my takeaway from that was, I never want to not trust someone who needs my help. Or I never want to turn down someone who needs my help because there's people out there who don't really, that'll take advantage. Because I would rather be taken advantage of by someone who doesn't need my help than to turn down someone who I can help because I'm afraid of being taken advantage of. If you want to take advantage of me, fine. Do it. I can't stop you. I'll probably fall for it. But your loss, it's screwing me over for some money, is way bigger than whatever money I'm going to lose. Because I care. I give a shit about the people that are around me, and I will do anything for the people I care about. So for you to take advantage like that, you just lost someone who's very difficult to replace. So basically, don't let other people's shitty actions define who you are. Don't change who you are because you encountered someone shitty. It's going to happen time and time again. You get better at figuring out who you can trust and who you can't. But it's still going to happen. No matter how good you get at detecting bullshit, there's going to be someone out there who's better at bullshitting than the last. And in my opinion, I'll still help them. I'll do what I feel I should do because that's who I am. Not because that's who society thinks I should be. Not because that's who mom and dad think I should be. Not because that's who wifey or girlfriend think I should be. Because that's who I think I should be. I will never change myself for anyone else. I will be me, unapologetically, like it or not, forever. And there's going to be things I think I should change, and I will. But it's going to be because I think I should, not because anyone else says I should. I think that sums that up. So, let's drink. So I don't have my normal team here to tell me how long I've been rolling. I have a couple cameras set up and basically rambling to them for the last who knows how long. But I'm thinking it's probably been quite a while, so we'll kind of bring this to the end. But the last thing that I want to talk about is my goals and aspirations for this next decade. I am 30 years old, and by 40, I would like to do some of the following things. I'm not going to lie, it's a little intimidating saying these kinds of things to a camera where it's documented and people are going to see it. And knowing that there's going to be some of you out there who are laughing at it, and some of you out there who are thinking there's no fucking way Meanderin Mitch is going to accomplish that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping that there's a few of you out there who say, I think he's going to do it. I think Mitchell is going to accomplish all of those things by the time he hits 40. And to you people, I say, thank you. And to you others who don't believe in me, I also say, thank you. Because you are the ones who will drive me to get to where I'm going to be. Tell me I can do it. I'll believe you. Tell me I can't do it. Just sit back and watch me prove you wrong. Cocky, confident. I don't care what you think. That's what I'll do. Anyways, let's jump into it. Before we jump into those though, another cheers to those of you who believe and those of you who don't, into seeing which one of us is right. Okay, so the things that I would like to accomplish in the next decade. I want to spend more time with my family. It's my number one thing. Before we dive into this part, I'm going to throw some more wood on the fire because I feel like this might get long-winded. Hopefully for you listening, that wasn't too loud. And that wasn't either. And I didn't get any wood chunks in my drink. But I want to spend more time with my family. I have, by most people's standards, I moved out of my parents' house way later than I should have. I moved out at 23 after college, moved back, moved out, moved back, move out. But I'm confident that this last time that I moved out will be the final time that I moved out. And that was at 29. At 29 years old, actually I think I was technically 28. We'll say 28 because that makes it feel a little bit better. But if you're not 28, if you're 28 or older and you haven't moved out, no shade. But at 28 years old, I moved out of my parents' house for the final time. And the thing that it taught me the most is that the time you get with your parents and your siblings is worth all the money in the world. I could have adventured across the country, across the globe. I could have gone anywhere I wanted to go with the careers that I had opportunities for. And I traded it all to stay here and spend more time with my family. And my parents in particular. And I just can't imagine trading that for anything. Memories, money, anything. So our family lost my grandfather at the end of last year. And seeing how one day you can wake up and it can just be gone was more of an eye-opener than I could have imagined. And I had decided well before that I wanted to stay home and spend time with my family and just do all of the things with my parents. Hang out, drink whiskey and smoke cigars with my dad. Or cook dinner with my mom. Or just sit around and hang out. Those things are on a timeline. But I will never, ever regret doing those things and sacrificing the things that I feel I have sacrificed to do those things. There's no experience in this world, to me, that is more important than my family. And I know that's not the case for everyone. But regardless of your situation, with your parents, siblings, friends, whatever it is, you only get so much time to fix it and enjoy the rest of your time. Do not let something stupid keep you from doing that. I don't even know where I was. Well, didn't plan on this part. And I lost my train of thought, so I'm going to cheat for a second and see what I was talking about. I don't even know where I was at, so we're just going to pick back up where we think we were, and hopefully it makes sense for the rest of the way. But I think I was saying something about life changes and you can adjust. Or hopefully I was, because that's where I was thinking I was going. But some days or sometimes things will happen and it will change your life view. And hopefully you are able to look back at the end of life and say that you did whatever it is that you wanted to do with who you wanted to do it, and you regret nothing. And I think that's my goal, or another one of my goals moving forward. I don't want to do anything I regret. I don't want to spend time with people I don't want to spend time with. I don't want to not spend money on things that I should have done long ago. I don't want to not do the thing because someone might judge me for it. I just want to accomplish what I think I can accomplish. And I think that's actually where I was going. It was my goals for this next decade. I would like to take this podcast and put it in front of a lot more people. Same with my YouTube channel. Both have been started basically to connect with more people and to get people outside. Camping is my channel, but to talk is this podcast. Go outside, light a fire, and just talk. See where it goes. I'd like to travel a lot more. I'd like to see the rest of the 50 states. I don't even know how many I've seen so far. It's a good bit, but it's not all of them. I'd like to see all the national parks. I'd like to leave the country a few more times. I would like to, you know what? I'm gonna say specific people because they mean a lot to me. And they've done things for me that makes me want to do these things. So regardless of where we end up and the paths that we go on from here, these are goals of people that mean a lot to me. And not all of them, because I don't have time for everyone. But some of the ones that come to mind that I would like to do. My parents, I would like to pay off their house, which I think they might beat me to that before I get there. But at that point, make it so that the rest of their lives is as amazing as they made my childhood, because they sacrificed so much for me to live a good childhood and to make me into who I am. I just hope that I get the chance to repay that favor somehow. My brothers, who are both fucks. They're both assholes sometimes, but I know at the end of the day, I can count on them no matter what. My aunts and uncles, cousins, all have done, they've been there when needed and through tough times to give support and to correct whenever not. Grandparents, here and not. And some friends. Some friends who have gone out of their way to give me experiences that I wouldn't have been able to have otherwise. I want to repay that tenfold. I don't want to. I will. I will make it happen. I don't know how yet, but I will make it happen. Other things that I want to do. Connect with more people and inspire more people. And I think that's where I'm going to end this episode, is on inspiring more people. And with one final story that I've been meaning to share forever. Well, not forever, but for quite a while. And I think this is a good chance to share that. I finally should be composed, so we should be good to go as far as the rest of that goes. But we're going to take another little sip here just in case. So, this past year, I was at a holiday party at our local Legion, which, if you aren't familiar, it's basically a bar for veterans and family of veterans. American Legion. We call it the Legion. But I was approached by two people separately that I went to high school with many years ago now. And both of them told me basically the same thing. And that was that because of my videos and my TikToks, they had decided to pursue decisions in life that led them away from our small town. Me. my TikToks, my social media inspired someone to do something different than what they thought they were supposed to do. At the time that they told me this, I didn't even have 500 followers on TikTok. I still barely have 500 followers on TikTok. But they saw it, and it made a difference to them. They were moving states away to live a life that they would not have otherwise lived because of something that I said, that I posted. And I'm sure there was plenty of other factors in there. But I had enough of an impact that both of them decided it was important to them to let me know. I was pretty committed. I was pretty committed to making this work before then. Now, nothing's going to stop me. I will reach out and touch as many people's lives as I possibly can to do the thing. You've heard it here before. You'll hear it here again. Do the thing. Whatever it is you're afraid to do, you probably should. Go for it. Trust yourself. Worst case scenario is usually not that bad. Have faith. Do the thing you're supposed to. And don't regret it. You can't. You only get one life here. You only get one chance. Change the things you don't like. Dive into the things you do. Unapologetically. Don't do anything that anyone else is telling you. You should do this. It's the safe thing. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Do what you're supposed to do. How you feel you're supposed to do it. That's it. And that's all I got for today. That's all we have for today's episode. I really hope that you enjoyed. We're going to do a toast, and I think it's only right, since we just talked about them, to do a toast to Brian and Matt. I hope my inspiration led you further on the path that you were supposed to go. And to everyone else along our journeys and theirs, may it be the right one. If you're still here, I really appreciate you. And I apologize for the overly cheesiness and the way more emotional that I meant to get. But hopefully, actually, I don't have to hope. I know that this will find its way to whoever it's supposed to, whenever it's supposed to. I love you all so much. And until next time, peace!